Hi everyone, Crypto Vatsik here. If you find this video helpful at all, please do like and share and follow my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Twitter at CryptoVatsik. Nothing in this video is considered financial advice. These are my opinions and my opinions only for educational purposes. So hopefully you can find value in these and learn something. So getting right into it with Solana as my first example, I'm going to be talking about the altcoin market and just giving an update. I think there's a few good coins that provide as good examples for the rest of the market. Solana being one of them. It's a major player in the market, and I think a lot of people, are looking to get into Solana again for the next major cycle or the next major push to all-time highs. So of course we saw in a lot of the altcoin market coins, we've seen these similar wedges, consolidations, and then breakthroughs and expansive pushes up. And again here, another wedge, just consolidating and then breaking out. And obviously we had the final push on Solana to 260 US dollars before breaking down for the major correction. So, this was a great time to be in the market. It was very exciting. It was up only kind of for a while there. But, diamond hands don't always pay out so well, right? I think just hodling forever isn't the best strategy. You should have some targets. If you didn't take advantage of this, you should have some targets for sell points and take profits, right? Otherwise, you'll see situations like this sometimes where we almost come down to a full retrace, if not lower than your entries. So um, now at this point, what I'm looking at, I wasn't really trading the downtrend on this. I did mark out some Fibonacci levels here of interest. If you were interested in trading it, you could have done this by longing the levels of support and then shorting the breakdowns to lower levels and so forth. So it's definitely respecting these fib lines nicely. And then of course we came back up with this final push. We had a nice divergence here, a nice push up, to the mid range here into significant resistance, and then of course complete collapse pretty much after that. So I know it's painful for a lot of people, and it's painful for everyone. Unless you're just a doomsdayer and you just short everything, it's tough. So I think the question is now, what are people looking at? One of the things that I'm definitely doing is looking for longer term positions. And just like in my last video on Bitcoin, I share that I'd be getting to dollar cost average or getting really close to my buy zones where I'm going to start to dollar cost average in, not just dumping everything I've got all at once, but steady buys. So if we keep dipping lower, that we can keep taking advantage of that. And there is going to be a point where between these buy zones, I stop dollar cost averaging for a while, just because I don't think there's any major support in between. But I'll get to that into the next chart in a second. So, for example, this is Solana, but this is the case for many other altcoins as well. There'd be theoretically some support here, and then again down around the 20 to $25 range. There's just not much in between here. You could see there wasn't much in between here. You could have said that this point would have been some sort of support, and it pierced right through with the wick and did come back up and close above it, but then proceeded to break downwards. So I think you got to be really careful with altcoins and manage your own risk and only put in money that you're willing to put in, and just keep that in mind. So Theta USD chart is a very similar story. It's had quite the bear market here. So 90 or so percent is tough for sure, but it just goes to show that this isn't a dip. This is a clear bear market breakdown, lower lows, lower highs. And so, I think, again, I'll have some areas of interest for coins like this, and for Theta specifically, this is to me not a bottom. This is coming down further. We had a pretty terrible wick here and people got excited. Oh, bull market's back. We're heading up to all-time highs, and then of course wicked all the way back down, and possibly even might close red. So something to consider. And between here and my buy zone, there's not a lot of support, so I'm not really interested in getting involved in Theta until we get down to these lower levels, which the next point would be down here, my ideal buy zone, basically less than 80 cents on Theta, just because we did have this period of consolidation. It was it was resistance turned into support and flipped it over here. So I would expect this area to react nicely, and then I'd be waiting to see if it had a strong reaction. If it comes down like this, then okay, yeah, that's great. But if it kind of comes down and hovers, then I might stop dollar cost averaging here and reevaluate and see what the market's going to do at that point. So Theta, it's just another example that I use. Again, a lot of other coins look like this right now. These things take time, right? I think that being patient in these times when the market's boring, that's when things can people start getting bored, or they're just down on their positions. They just want to get out. They say, screw it, I'll take the loss. But these are the areas that I get excited about, and I think are huge opportunities. To be accumulating in a coin that you believe in, and waiting, being patient enough and waiting for the next cycle, that long term, um, price expansion. So just one final coin that I wanted to discuss is GLMR, aka Moonbeam. I get excited about these new coins. I've talked about my previous video. What are the coins that people aren't really talking about or don't really know about right now when the market's boring, that are going to potentially do really well next cycle? And these coins, such as GLMR, haven't experienced a true full bull cycle, and their price has been suppressed basically since their existence. I think that made it all-time high here just from the opening and the excitement, people buying it up. But then it's only known this downtrend for pretty much its whole life, at least on Binance. So these are the ones that I'm excited about. I do believe in Moonbeam. I believe in the Polkadot ecosystem in general. So this will be one that I'm going to be accumulating for sure. And these levels of prices, if you believe in something, are just so the risk reward is huge. When coins have almost completely retraced back down, call it back down to zero sort of thing. So these are the greatest maximum financial opportunity long-term positions that you can put in. And I just think back to Solana at $3. Everyone wishes they put in more, or maybe knew about it, or just accumulated more at that time, or held longer. I know for myself, I had accumulated some um, back at $3 and just didn't hold it long enough. So, live and learn. But I think now moving forward, we'll be more prepared for the next cycle. So, for GLMR, I just wanted to give this as an example. I think this is the all-time high here. I would consider anywhere from this wick to this full body as our official all-time high. I don't like to count the wick. This is more of an outlier to me. To me, if I believe something is going to make an all-time high, this would be the area that I'd be looking at. And so, just as an example, if you get into a coin that is at these low prices and you say, well, this is low enough. I mean, look at it, it's crazy, right? I'm just going to dump everything I have into it now and wait. And so you might say, okay, I'll just dump in. It's had a bit of a retrace. I'll dump everything in now, and I'll be waiting long term. And oh, if I bring it up to the all-time high, and um, I expect it to at least test the all-time high again at some point. That's some pretty good gains. So my I guess my thesis is that it's not even my thesis; it's just math. But my point is that if you can dollar cost average in slowly, uh, your returns are going to be much bigger. So if you can get in even a bit lower and say you did buy some now, fine, leave some stables on the side. It comes back down to 84 cents. You buy some more down there, and then again, eventually it comes back up to your all-time high. Um, it's a lot better ROI if you can get in that lower. It does make a difference. So really pay attention to that. Be patient, and if you believe in something, whatever that might be, I think that's a good play to have. And of course, it's always easier said than done. I think these things take longer than people expect. They might get into crypto thinking they're going to be rich overnight, but it's not the case. So, these bear markets are boring. They're meant to get you out of your positions. If you're down on your positions, you're sick of losing money or you're too worried, that's what it's meant to do. So, we could have this period of accumulation here for quite some time before we actually start building up higher lows and higher highs, and then eventually get our first, impulse of some sort, an expansion. So these are the times that are uh, really good opportunities to get in when the market's boring, when people aren't buying, they're not paying attention. Uh, if you believe in a certain coin, that's when you want to be accumulating. All right, thanks for joining everyone. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please don't forget to give it a like, share with your friends, and give me a follow on Twitter as well. This is my Twitter page, Crypto Vatsik. I've got a newsletter here link that you can just type in your email into and get more market updates. But I'm pretty frequently active on Twitter as well, so trying to build the account. Would really appreciate the follow and um, yeah, and your comments. I want to hear from you as well, right? Your thoughts and if you agree or disagree and why. So thanks again for joining, and we'll see you on the next one.